Patricia S. Churchland, Brainwise, Studies in Neurophilosophy. Step into the captivating world of neurophilosophy with Patricia S. Churchland's Brainwise, Studies in Neurophilosophy, a book that explores the intersection of neuroscience and philosophy. Delve into thought-provoking discussions on the existence of the immaterial mind or soul, the nature of the self, and the impact of neuroscience on our understanding of cognition, consciousness, memory, and reason. This comprehensive summary will introduce you to the awe-inspiring discoveries that profoundly challenge traditional views on metaphysics and the existence of God.
The End of the Immortal Soul. The book challenges doctrines that claim that people have immortal souls or minds that can freely choose by presenting scientific evidence that the brain handles every function that people use to attribute to the mind, including cognitive and mental activities. The book identifies the implications of these discoveries to philosophy, with particular attention to the intersection of neuroscience and philosophy. While it used to be impossible to blend natural philosophy with moral philosophy because of the soul's supernatural dimensions, neurophilosophy is renewing the possibility of uniting these two fields. Finally, the book examines possible ways of reducing consciousness, cognition, and reasoning to neural interactions while addressing unanswered questions as well as the challenges associated with bridging the gap between neuroscience and cognitive science/psychology. The evolution of metaphysics and biology. Aristotle's metaphysics aimed to explain the unobservable, fundamental existence of reality and the independent existence of mathematical truth. However, over time, physics, geology, and biology have answered some of those metaphysical questions. Evolutionary biology, for instance, offers the mandate of improved survival capability as an explanation for the functions and characteristics of organisms in its own terms. Biology challenges some widely held ideas about the existence of the mind and soul and the nature of personality. As brain science investigates the brain's phenomena, it has the potential to explain some of metaphysics' most challenging questions. Understanding causality. Causes in the universe manifest in three ways and are often mistaken for correlation. While causality is still not fully understood, science has identified numerous correlations in the brain and is working to determine whether they are causal or not. In Understanding Causality, the author explores the various ways in which causes manifest in the world, including precipitating, predisposing, and sustaining factors. Despite the prevalence of causality all around us, people often mistake it for correlation, as was the case with stress and bad diet being thought of as causes of ulcers for many years before bacteria was discovered to be the actual cause. The concept of causality has been a topic of philosophical debate for centuries. David Hume argued that it was a fiction created to explain relationships that could not be explained by cause and effect. Nonetheless, causality remains a significant factor in brain science. While many correlations have been identified in the brain, scientists are still working to determine whether they are causal or just a coincidence. However, it is widely accepted that the brain is a causal machine, meaning that everything that happens in the brain has a cause. The illusion of self. Humans have a notion of self that neuroscience cannot fully explain. Descartes proposed that humans have a conscious and immaterial mind, but Hume disagreed, stating that such a self cannot be observed. However, people believe in their own existence even if science has nothing continuous to point to. The self has survival advantages as organisms must correlate their needs, perceptions, and memories to live. Brain activity correlates with the ability to form and sustain ideas of the self, including memory and self-concept. However, certain brain damage can cause a loss of self-concept and boundary between self and others. Evolution has produced a practical version of the self that is good enough to survive, but it is not perfectly clear, precise, or accurate. The self is an illusion created by the brain. The quest for knowledge through brain science. Epistemologists seek to answer the questions of what knowledge is and where we get it. Brain science provides insight into these issues and challenges traditional ideas revolving around a non-physical mind. Reality, though, is not solely a projection of the mind, an external reality still exists. Moreover, scientific reasoning has debunked traditional arguments for God's existence that are based on scientifically untenable notions. For instance, natural selection offers a clear explanation of the complex brain and mind that does not require an intelligent designer. Finally, the claim that God must exist because he has revealed himself to a select few is questionable, as such experiences can be imitated with hallucinogenic drugs and other means of brain stimulation.
In Brainwise, Patricia S. Churchland investigates the limits and implications of neuroscience and its ability to explain complex philosophical questions. She reveals that the mind is most plausibly a function of the brain, with no immaterial soul. This revelation challenges conventional ideas about the self, causality, and the existence of God. Neuroscience has bridged the gap separating philosophy from science, providing explanations for phenomena that once seemed beyond human understanding. As an enlightening experience, Brainwise invites us to rethink metaphysical assumptions and grants us a clearer perspective on the intricacies of the human brain and mind.